announce that we have a world famous, highly accomplished senior Vaishnava from Sridham Mayapur, His Grace Kaunteya Prabhu. So, Prabhu gave a 3-day seminar on building vibrant communities. And today, whoever not present to that seminar, I am giving a brief introduction about His Grace Kaunteya Prabhu. Kaunteya Prabhu is a PhD doctor holder in Indo-Vedic psychology. He also holds Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhava degree. He is a disciple of His Holiness Jai Pataka Swami Maharaja. He joined ISKCON in Rome, Italy in May 1980, 44 years ago. Resides in Mayapur. He served in various capacities, including book distributor, Gurukula teacher, mediator, and more. Prabhu serves the following positions. It is a big list, but I can read few points. Prabhu is co-minister, ISKCON Congregational, sorry, Prabhu? Was, okay. Co-minister, ISKCON Congregational Development Ministry, co-chairman, GBC Organizational Development Committee, trustee and faculty member, GBC College of Leadership Development, member of GBC Strategic Planning Team, member of GBC Nominations Committee, coordinator, ISKCON Constitution Project, and GBC representative for Iran, special duty officer for ISKCON Brazil, and many more. With that, we'll welcome Prabhu by loudly chanting one time Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you, Prabhu. Devotees, as usual, can you move forward? Whoever comes late, they can join at the back so that it will not disturb. Only 2 columns, Prabhus, the rest all Matajis. So please form only 2 columns. Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Welcome to our Hare Krishna Temple of Austin, Texas, United States of Andhra Pradesh. Thank you. Any of you is coming here for the first time? No, all veterans. Okay. So today we are talking about the Bhagavad Gita. And, I selected for you my favorite verse of the Bhagavad Gita. We should chant also? A little chanting? Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Manachari Yamuna Tira Manachari Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Shri Shri Radha Madhava ki. Do I get a book or yeah. Let me put my spectacles so I look more intelligent and I can also read better as a side benefit. Thank you. Chapter 5. Karma Yoga, action in Krishna consciousness. Can you read? Or is it too small? It's a bit small. Better? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Tadbuddhayastadatmanas Tannishtastatparayanaha Gacchantya punaravrittim Jnana nirdhuta kalmashaha.
Sannishtastatparayana Gachanti apunaravrittim Jnana nirdhuta kalmashaha.
Tadbuddhayastadatmanas Tannishtastatparayanaha गच्छन्त्य पुनरावृत्तिम् ज्ञाननिर्धूतकल्मषाः
Ladies,
तत्बुद्धयस्तदात्मानस् तन्निष्ठास्तत्परायणः गच्छन्त्य पुनरावृत्तिम् ज्ञाननिर्धूतकल्मषाः
तत्पुरुषस्तनात्मनस् तानिशान्तं परायणः गच्छन्त्यं पुनरावृत्तिम् ज्ञानादिक्तकल्मषः
Tadbuddhayaha, those whose intelligence is always in the Supreme. Tadatmanaha, those whose minds are always in the Supreme. Tatnishtaha, those whose faith is only meant for the Supreme. Tatparayanaha, who have completely taken shelter of Him. Gachanti, go. Punaha avrittim, to liberation. Jnana, by knowledge. Nirdhuta, cleansed. Kalmashaha, misgivings. Okay, so Lord Krishna is teaching to Arjuna, when one's intelligence, mind, faith, and refuge are all fixed in the Supreme, then one becomes fully cleansed of misgivings through complete knowledge and thus proceeds straight on the path of liberation. Purport is short but technical, so we need to have full attention. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The supreme transcendental truth is Lord Krishna. The whole Bhagavad Gita centers around the declaration that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is the version of all Vedic literature. Paratattva means that supreme reality, who is understood by the knowers of the Supreme as Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. Bhagavan, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the last word in the Absolute. There is nothing more than that. The Lord says, Mattha parataram nanya kinchidasti dhananjaya. Impersonal Brahman is also supported by Krishna. Brahmano hi pratishtaham. Therefore, in all ways, Krishna is the supreme reality. One whose mind, intelligence, faith, and refuge are always in Krishna, or in other words, one who is fully in Krishna consciousness is undoubtedly washed clean of all misgivings and is in perfect knowledge of everything concerning transcendence. The Krishna conscious person can thoroughly understand that there is duality, simultaneously identity and individuality in Krishna, and equipped with such transcendental knowledge, one can make steady progress on the path of liberation. Om Jnanatimirandasya Gnanjana Salakaya Chaksharam Mritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namo. Namo Vishwapadaya Krishna Prasthaya Putre Shrimad Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vanchakalpatarubhasya Kripa Sindhu Evacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. I read the translation again if you like to repeat. When one's intelligence, mind, faith, and refuge are all fixed in the Supreme, then one becomes fully cleansed of misgivings through complete knowledge and thus proceeds straight on the path of liberation. So, the target of all Vedic literature, of the whole Vedic revelation, especially the Gita and the Bhagavatam, is the absolute truth. Satyam Param Dhimai. So what's the difference between the absolute truth and the relative truths? Absolute truth means an entity is something, here is indicated with the word tat. Tat means very similar to English, that, only one H more. Tat buddhayas, tadatmanas, so that. In fact, the word tattva comes from that. Tattva, right? Means thatness. Categorical truth, categorical classification of being. So, the absolute truth is called absolute because remains true in the three phases of time: past, present, and future. The relative truths cannot display that continuity. Now, from a colloquial point of view, for instance, we could say that this cloth is true. I mean, we can all recognize this is the dictionary meaning, and yeah, according to every culture on this planet, this is cloth. Okay, so we could say, yeah, the fact that this bag is made of cloth is a true. But this cloth does not remain the same in the three phases of time. In the past, it had no this color, this shape, or this decoration. It was actually just a cotton growing somewhere. And before that, it was just information contained in the DNA of the seed. And through water and through solar power became cotton. And then it was processed, it became cloth. And it will not stay like this forever. At one point, I'm not sure exactly what will happen to this particular bag, but at one point will dissolve. Will be maybe burnt, will be very old and impractical to use, so it will be burnt. So this cloth will become smoke, and so on and so on. The cycle of life. Even the Greek philosopher would say that nothing is created, nothing is destroyed, everything is transformed. That's at the level of Prakriti. So any Prakritic assemblage cannot be the absolute truth. The truth Their trueness comes and goes. Everything we see around us will not stay as it is right now. Everything we see around us will cease to exist. Not only will cease to exist, and by everything I mean everything. This house, the bodies of other people, and even the subtle thing like the smells or the flavors, everything will cease to exist. Not only will everything cease to exist, but everything we see with our eyes at one point was not existing. So it only manifests at one point and then it goes again into a different manifestation. But the absolute truth is a truth that stays. That's one characteristic of the absolute truth. Another characteristic of the absolute truth, or of the adjective absolute, is that all other truths relate to it. No other truth can exist independently or separately from that absolute truth, from that central existence. Nobody else can claim that, but Krishna claims that in the Bhagavad Gita. He says in both ways. For instance, he says hierarchically, we could say vertically. Srila Prabhupada quotes the verse, Matta parataram nanyat kinchit asti dhananjaya. So we could say that's vertical. Matta parataram na anyat. There is nothing higher than me. So if you make a list, a hierarchy of all existences in terms of any classification, beauty, power, permanence, whatever, then you see that Krishna is on the top. And beyond Krishna there is nothing. But then he also says, I'm not only on the top of everything, I'm also at the bottom of everything. Mahi sarvam idam protam sutre mani ganaiva. Everything rests on me. In other words, it's on top of me. Everything rests on me. I'm the basis, the matrix of everything, just like pearls are strung on a thread. Without that thread, the pearls will just scatter. It's that thread that gives the shape of the, what do you call? Necklace, yes. It's a necklace only because there is a thread. Otherwise it would be a scattered collection of pearls. And Krishna keeps saying this in the Bhagavad Gita. We're in 5th chapter, so still preliminarily, he still used this indirect kind of third person language. He used the word vibhu in a couple of verses before. He said tat, that vibhu, that powerful, that entity. Later on, he speaks in the first person. Aham sarvasya prabhavu matta sarvam pravartate. So, he says, Aham sarvasya prabhavu. I am the source of everything. I'm not just on top hierarchically, everything comes from me. I'm not just on top, I'm not just at the bottom, which by themselves does not define or identify source, right? You can be on top of something, you can be on bottom of something, but not being the source of that. But he says, I'm at the top, I'm at the bottom, and I'm the source. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mataha. From me, everything promanates, everything emanates, everything proceeds. So, he is the source. In fact, Srila Prabhupada, in his introducing the Bhagavatam to the world, what's the first sentence he speaks in the Bhagavatam? That the concepts of God and the concept of the absolute truth, they're not on the same level. It's a major theological shift. Do you have a Bhagavatam? I would like to see, or you have a first canto Bhagavatam. I would like to read the exact words. See, Think of Srila Prabhupada is there, is in Vrindavan, he has received this order from his spiritual master to present present Krishna consciousness to the West. And of course, the books are the most authoritative and substantial, solid. Random page. Okay. Okay, so introduction, first page, okay, by the author, introduction by the author. So Srila Prabhupada is there meditating how to present, what to present, and he settles on the Srimad Bhagavatam, the ripened fruit of the whole tree of Vedic knowledge. And he has to present to these poor Westerners who don't know anything. I mean, they know, they have some idea of God, but he starts even challenging that idea. So I'm not going to talk just of God, which you heard, I mean, thousands of years you're talking about God. So I'm going to read the words, okay? The conception of God and the conception of absolute truth are not on the same level. Why? Let's see. The Srimad Bhagavatam hits on the target of the absolute truth. We should have an usher sitting there so they can circulate like a traffic police. Okay. The Srimad Bhagavatam hits on the target of the absolute truth. The conception of God indicates the controller, whereas the conception of the absolute truth indicates the summum bonum. That's Latin. Or the ultimate source of all energies. You're from India and you are learned in the scripture, so you might have already identified the Sanskrit which he is translating into English, or in this case in Latin, to find something that he feels comfortable presenting. So what could be the word that he's using? I mean, what could be the Sanskrit word that he's using for God? God indicating the controller. No, one word. Ishwara. Ishwara. Okay? Ishwara means God. And in fact, in India, we're blessed with many gods. we have 33 crores. 33 crores of gods. Because they are all gods. They are all Ishwaras. They have the control, of course, on a certain department, on a certain division, but they have control. So, here he's saying, the Bhagavatam doesn't just deal with another Ishvara, or even with the Supreme Ishvara. I mean, it deals with the Supreme Ishvara, but it's not just presented in that hierarchical vertical form that we were discussing before, but it's hitting on the target of the absolute truth. And of course, apparently is referring to the first verse of the Bhagavatam, Satyam Param Dhimahi. Vyasadeva say, I am meditating, I worship, I focus on Satyam Param. And Srila Prabhupada defines that as the ultimate source of all energy. In other words, the center of all existence. There is no existence or energy that exists separately from that center. Any questions?
With a God concept from birth to direction.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So the first question immediately that came to my mind was when you were comparing the Bible from Gita, like, and also how Prabhupada has narrated the first sentence about the absolute. So what is the difference of conception of God in Bible versus in Bhagavad Gita?
Okay, I wouldn't say versus, because versus we could say implies or indicates opposition. So I won't say that there is a specific or direct explicit opposition. Let's say that the Bible starts kind of abruptly by saying the Spirit of God, depends on the translation and the different languages, but basically the Spirit of God was floating on the water. And we don't know, I mean, the Bible doesn't explain what is that water, because actually this is before creation. So the Bible tells us that there was a water before creation, but it doesn't tell where that water was coming from. And did the Spirit of God have some form? Or just some amorphous, abstract, ectoplasmic entity? And if he had that form, what form was that? So basically, in one sense, the Bible starts from the third canto, where Garbhodakashayi Vishnu is described. But starts, but doesn't get into Garbhodakashayi Vishnu. When you go to the, or Mahavishnu if you prefer, when you go to the third canto, Brahma, after long meditation, realizes God, and he has a vision of Garbhodakashayi Vishnu. Was there all the time, but he was not ready to perceive it. And then there are this series of verses that he, describing Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, he looks like a mountain of coral. And then he describes in detail his form, his resting place, Ananta Shesha. He even describes his garland. And what the garland does? That's part of it. That's part of it. What the garland of Garbhodakashayi Vishnu does, besides the usual functions of a garland, beautification, aromatization. Decoration, yes. What the garland does? To be a garland, you got to have already connected the flowers. But the garland sings the Vedic hymns. "30 years ago, there was the thing called Walkman. Now nobody has a Walkman, but at that time, Walkman. So the garland is like the personal iPhone of the Lord. And no need of battery, no need of charge. It's eternal, ever fresh. So the Lord sits there, and the garland sings the Vedic hymns. That's not described in the Bible, fortunately. And then the Bible gets into Genesis, the creation of the world, the first humans, and so on. So there is no real opposition or contradiction. It's just there's no much information if you compare the two. It's not so philosophically developed. So that's something I could say on your question. Okay, gives an idea. So we don't have a competing conception, because there's not, with all respect, there's not much of a conception. We respect the Bible, of course. It's a text which definitely gave so much God consciousness to most of this world, and is followed by the largest religious manifestation on this planet. I mean, most people, not most people, I'm just saying, the largest religious denominations of Christianity follows the Bible. So we honor the Bible as a source of knowledge, but comparatively, there's not much information about God. And therefore, there are so many conceptions within Christianity, and mostly they end up being impersonal. Because a philosopher, a theologian has to kind of speculate.
The Jehovah Witnesses say that the wisdom is the believer of Jehovah Witnesses. They say that Jehovah has the form. He is the supreme.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but okay, even that's why I say often they shift to impersonalism. Not always. Some Christians are very much convinced that the Lord has a form. It's just they don't have information on that form. And sometimes they represent him as an old man, right? Just like in India, generally the iconography represents Brahma as an old man. There is no written anywhere that Brahma has a white beard, right? I mean, he has a body of pure intelligence. He has not a body like us. Plus, he's not even old. It's for him, it's not even. He's 51, so. And it's very youthful as a 51-year-old. But this thing of the white beard is just a projection. So the Christians, artists, they project God as very old. So those are kind of, I would say, we could say sincere attempts, but a bit misguided, no? Because, see, what does it mean old? Old means you are under the influence of time. And gradually, but inexorably, time is wiping you out. And for Brahma, that may apply, although he's not having a white beard. And I don't know, I don't think he even has a beard. I don't know where the beard of Brahma, somebody may make a research where the beard of Brahma comes. Okay, so being old means you are under the control of time. And time is affecting you in a way that is disrupting your happiness, your being, your vitality, your power. But time is only a feature of God. And time is an energy of God. And time is the energy that God, Vishnu, Narayan, Krishna, inserts in the pradhana, in the original primordial substance, to start the interaction of the ingredients. So time is always under control of God. God is never under the control of time. So obviously, 1,000 years ago, they had this revelation, and they're trying to, they try to picture it in some form, in some artistic form. So they we could say, presented some idea of God. And many becomes impersonalist. There are, for instance, some Jewish philosophers that say, not all, but may not be mainstream, but some Jewish philosophers said this. Okay, we exist. We exist. If we say that God exists, it's like comparing him or it to us. So technically, they say, we cannot even say that God exists. Because we exist. And he's so transcendental, he's so above, he's so beyond, that if you say he exists, you're kind of comparing him to us, and it's not proper. So you cannot even say God exists. Oh, it's like, this is really, this person has got some vata problem and needs some good Ayurvedic coconut oil or something, Because when you are on the mental platform, we know this, when you're on a mental platform, there is no substratum. What are you based on? Then you got to speculate. And you got to, at the end, it's just a play of words. Existence, non-existence, existence means what? We can use it, we cannot use. It becomes all a word jugglery festival. Okay? What else? Yes? A mic for our young friend. 2 mics.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Why do Christians still eat meat even though it says not to in the Bible?
Who? What? Why people?
Why do Christians
Oh,
eat meat?
Christians. Why some initiated devotees don't chant all their 16 rounds although they promise to do it? Because temptation, distractions are strong. And meat has a strong taste because all acid is flesh, is putrefying flesh. So people become very attached. And also, of course, Yad acharati shrishtas tat tat evitaro janaha. You need an acharya. You need some leader who shows by example, who speaks. And unfortunately, with few notable exceptions in the Christian world, people don't talk about that. They don't talk that eating meat is bad. It's written in the Bible. But they don't speak about that. They don't speak about that and they don't practice it. I don't want to mention any particular person, but some of the top leaders in that tradition, they also eat meat. Even top Buddhist leaders eat meat. So it's not emphasized, it's not practiced, it's not stressed, because the tongue became very attached. And even when Christian leaders, rightly so, speak about environmental protection, and they know that the number one pollutant are the slaughterhouses. They know because they have the data. Still they don't talk about it. And still they continue to eat meat. So, the Christians say the spirit is strong, but the flesh is weak. So, I remember once I was distributing books, I came into a house, and there was already a lady from the Jehovah's Witness group in the house. So I was distributing books. I didn't really have the time to get into a large debate, neither the time nor the taste, not what was the point, But there was a Jehovah's Witness, there was the person the Jehovah's Witness was preaching to. I came with a book, and then I said, we are vegetarian, and they said, no, we are not vegetarian. I said, well, the Bible says that it's not good to eat meat. I said, letter of St. Paul to Romans 14:21. St. Paul says not good to drink wine or eat meat. It says, still in the present edition. So I said, look. So she went to the book. Then I said, this is your book, it's not mine. That's what it says there. I don't know. No, but in other places, and then she started frantically looking. In other places, it says, and then she started, and then I left because I said, anyway, okay, good luck, Haribol, I left. I didn't have time for that. So it's there in the book, but if it's not explained, it's not practice, it's not stress, it becomes something, it disappears in one sense from the culture. But as I said, there are few, like the seventh largest Christian group in the world, the Seventh-day Adventists, the eighth largest. I mean, no, seventh. The name is Seventh Day, but it's the eighth largest Christian group in the world. They're promoting vegetarianism. Not all of them are vegetarians, so there's not like a very strict commandment or imposition, but they are largely vegetarian, that they promote vegetarianism. And some rare monks in some denominations, they are vegetarian, but the vast majority. Okay? No, I know it's not okay, but okay in the sense that that's the answer I can give you at the moment. Okay?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I have one question here. If I am correct, our mind, faith, and refuge can be fixed into Supreme Lord by doing the chanting or studying the scriptures, if I'm correct. Okay, but how one's intelligence can be fixed on the Supreme? Like, if I'm correct, intelligence is nothing but what we have already got. Right? It's natural, isn't it? Based on the previous karma, what we have got. Like how that can be fixed on the Supreme?
Okay. See, one definition of intelligence is the capacity to discriminate. So, intelligence, yeah, it's a fact. To some extent, we have the intelligence we have. If one has, say, average intelligence, it may not become a genius overnight or just because it chants few rounds of Maha Mantra. So, in one sense, I agree with you. We have the intelligence we have. But intelligence is like money. See, money is potential power. Depends how you use it. You may have a lot of money. You may have very little money. You may have a lot of money and waste all the money. And there are people who are born very rich, right? Sons and daughters of multi-billionaires. And they waste money to drugs, drinks, sports cars. They just waste money. They don't produce anything. And other people who have a little money, but then they invest and reinvest, and then they become actually quite wealthy, sometimes very wealthy. You know the story that Srila Prabhupada spoke in Calcutta. At one point there was a plague. There was a plague. So the municipality will give something like, I don't remember exactly, but was a microscopic amount of money, 1 anna or 5 anna, something like that, some money that doesn't even exist anymore, for those who would bring a dead rat. Because rats were spreading the plague, the infection. So the municipality said, you bring a rat, we give you, like now it could be like 5 cents. Let's say 5 cents, okay? You bring it to the municipality, I'll give you 5 cents. So there was a man, I believe Marwari, who was a young man, and he wanted to start a business. And he went to a very rich business person. He said, can you give me some seed money? I want to invest, and then I'll repay you. He wanted a loan. So this man kind of dismissed him and insulted him. And he said, you want a capital? Then he looked outside the window. That's your capital. And there was a dead rat. That's your capital. That's your seed money. Because it has value, right? 5 cents, but it's a value. So this man took it as a challenge and took it literally. And for the first few days, he started just madly running throughout Calcutta, picking up dead rats and putting in a sack. And 5 cents, 5 cents, 5 cents, every 20 is $1, right? So he will do every day, for many days, many hours. Because most people, of course, they knew it valued 5 cents, but nobody will pick it up, right? But he was morning to night picking up dead rats and bringing it. So one day it's $5, one day $10, one day you get $50, $100. And then he started a business and he became one of the most rich people in Calcutta. And that's a story that Srila Prabhupada say. Back to intelligence. So maybe your intelligence is only comparable to a dead rat. Not your hypothetical you, okay? Maybe you just have a dead rat in your brain, okay? But still you can invest, it still has value. So intelligence is the capacity of discrimination where you're putting. It's not how much you have, it's where you put it. So you put it to understand, just like you all, this is Sunday morning, you could have been anywhere in Austin, anywhere. Or you could have been in front of your TV, or in front of your computer, or sleeping, but you decided, no, I want to go and hear some philosophical talk. So you're using your intelligence, and hopefully it will give you some return on investment. Even if this lecture is only worth 5 cents, it's a beginning. So intelligence in the Supreme means you're thinking. See, intelligence, in this world, intelligence is our means of success. See, when the Ahankara gets divided according to the modes, and it creates the element of this world, you have Ahankara, ego, the ego element. Under Sattvaguna, it becomes the mind, and it becomes the 10 demigods. Under Rajaguna, passion, it becomes buddhi, prana, and the 10 senses. So buddhi is created with an element of passion because is the instrument that we have to dominate and enjoy this world. So more you have intelligence, more you can dominate and control in this world. So putting the intelligence in the Supreme, Tat Buddhayas, in the concise words of Krishna, Tat Buddhayas, you put the buddhi there, means you're renouncing really to try to enjoy and control and dominate, and you say, let me understand this Supreme, what is this absolute truth? Which is what you're doing here. And why you're doing this? Because you are very intelligent. Why you laugh? It was not a joke. Hey, see, I see how much consideration he has for you. I say you're very intelligent, he laughs. You have to have respect for these devotees, because while most people are doing many other things, which is not using their intelligence, they're not Tat Buddhayas. Here we have devotees who are making an effort. They will have many, many, many returns on their investment. How much time more we have? We are almost there, right? What time is it? You said 2, you say 5. You have to synchronize your intelligence. Yeah, we have one more question, perhaps the last. 2 more questions. Who offers more?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Forgive my ignorance on this question. Pretty new. I know Prabhupada talks of I don't know if he uses the word dangers, but of voidism.
Voidism.
Maybe you could explain so that I could better understand, or we could all better understand, how do we know that the Supreme Lord was never a void or doesn't choose the form of a void?
Okay. Okay, yes, I try to be synthetic because we are at the end. So when we offer our obeisances to our founder Acharya, His Divine Grace, S.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, in the second mantra we say Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. We offer our respectful obeisances to you, servant of Srila Saraswati Thakur, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Gauravani Pracharine, we're bringing the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, and you are freeing the Western world from Nirvishesha and Sunyavadi means two types of impersonalism. There are two types of impersonalism. Either that the absolute has no variety, nirvishesha. Vishesha means variety. Nir, it's a negative prefix. So those who worship or focus on a non-variety, or those who focus on shunya. Shunya means void. It's even a mathematical term, means zero. Which basically we are talking about the two major forms of Mayavada. One, the impersonalists, they, in short, one worships light and one worships darkness. And so Srila Prabhupada came to free us from this conception. And for your question, your further questions, can God be being a void? You see, these are words. What does it mean, void? A void can generate everything. It's a heck of a void. Right? I mean, you have a void. You call something void. And from that void, everything comes. I won't call it void. At least not in my dictionary. Call it something else. Some of you study some Western culture. You have that story of Ulysses in the Odyssey. And then he is a kind of trickster. And at one point he says, what's your name? Nobody, right? I don't know if you know, it's not from the Puranas, okay? It's from the Greek literature. But at one point he gets by a very tricky situation by saying, who is that? What's your name? Nobody. Oh, and the people kind of took it, oh, it's nobody. Wait. Probably they were kind of slow, because when you say anybody, no, I'm nobody. But anyway, so nobody, they call nobody, that's Ulysses. And, 4,000 years later, we're still talking about him. So it's not exactly nobody. Was it helpful? We could talk much more, but in logic, from a pure nothing, nothing can come, by definition. So in logic, there must be some original entity, some original quid, some original X. Not X that with reborn, but I'm just saying, there must be something. Because by definition, from nothing, nothing comes. Because cannot come. Otherwise, then nothing is not nothing. It's just like Ulysses. Okay? Does it help? Okay.
The human mind, when it's blank, better ideas come. So it's like the mind can be almost like a void, but not a void with potential, call it.
Well, you can say that sometimes it is helpful to make a blank slate. But the slate is something. If you say, my mind is void, the mind is something. It's just like you're cleaning the mind. It's like if you say, you have these notebooks here. You have an empty notebook, but still is a notebook. And there's a lot of technology in that notebook. And yes, of course, it's helpful to have a clean notebook in which you can write. A notebook is already filled up with so many words, right? But still, the mind is something. Thank you. Do you have time for the last question or not? Should we close abruptly here?
We can take last question.
Please.
On the translation, I was noticing that it says one's intelligence, comma, mind. So it separates, the comma separates mind from one's intelligence. So is this spiritual intelligence or intelligence of the real self, the soul? Could you?
Both, I would say. You see, the word mind is atmana. If you go to the Sanskrit, tat buddhayas is intelligent, tat atmanas is mind, Tannishtha, that means the faith. Tatparayana means the shelter or refuge. So it's two different words. When you say this, the intelligence is the acquired intelligence or is the intelligence of the soul? It's both. Because the soul, as you correctly point out, has intelligence. The self, the Atma, has all the functions which are later departmentalized in our body. Physical and subtle. Originally, the self has everything. The self can see, the self can smell, the self can express everything, can think, can feel. But this, when we are encapsulated in Prakriti, these functions are delegated to the Prakritic body. So we have still our intelligence. The Atma is intelligent, but uses also the acquired intelligence. It becomes dependent, it becomes conditioned. Therefore, some people have more intelligence, some people have less. Just like some people have more physical strength and some people have less. Because of the karma, because of the experience in this samsara and this reincarnation. But all the functions, including the thinking and discriminating functions, are originated in the Atma. And without the Atma, these functions cannot do anything. Because what it sees, what it feels, what it tastes, it's only the Atma. The senses are only like windows. When I say I see, it's the self that sees. The eyes don't see. Because Prakriti, both subtle or gross, doesn't see, doesn't perceive. When there is perception, it's only the soul that perceives. Because the 8 divisions of matter don't have the capacity to perceive anything. The eye is just like a window. I see through the window to in this case, the door, and I see trees, I see cars, I see a city, but the door doesn't see anything. We understand that the pane of glass is not perceiving anything. It's just a biomedia. So when we say I'm seeing through the eyes, yeah, through the eyes, but the eyes don't see anything. The eyes are simply an apparatus through which the light gets inserted into the central nervous system and then in the mind. And even the mind doesn't perceive anything. It's only the self that perceives. How can we prove that? Just go to sleep. Why? Why? Why you can prove that is the self that sees? Why? Because we can see dreams. Thank you. The eyes are closed. The room is dark. But we see dreams. So who is seeing that? The Atma, the self. So the Atma can see without the use of eyes. Now, there are the three Jagrata, Swapna, and Susupti. So there are 3 levels of consciousness. The Atma is there, and when we are connected to the external objects, that's Jagrata, and we use the senses. So me, the Atma, sees the external objects through the external senses. When I go and dream, the eyes are closed, they cannot see anything. But still I can see colors and persons, and I hear sounds in dreams, right? There's no sounds in the room, hopefully, if the place is silent. So, you can practically see that without the senses, we can do all that. Does it help? Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi.
Kaunteya Prabhu ki.
Who wants the garland? Nobody? Okay, I'll keep it.
Devotees, please rise. We'll have a Arati now.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. How are you? Oh, yes. Sorry, I got a little attached to hear my voice amplified.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Whoever can sing well, Prabhu. Yeah. You want to sing along with me? Okay, okay. No, I cannot. You can play. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Want to sit down? Karthik, you want to sit down or? Okay. Just stay away from that from the camera. No. Just no. That's fine. That's fine. Sitting is better. Oh no. Yeah, please. This is the most. Basically, you are coming in the camera. So. Can I have the water? I might need the water. Sorry. Thank you. Might need.
It's okay.
I will start.
Shall we start?
Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Om Vishnupadaya Krishna
Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine
Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे
नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी
पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे
तारिणे
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा जय श्री
कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद
श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर
भक्तवृंदा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे
हरे राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna
Krishna Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Haraya Namah Krishna Yadavaya Namaha, Haraya Namah यादवाय
नमः
हराय नमः कृष्ण यादवाय नमः
हराय नमः कृष्ण यादवाय नमः
यादवाय माधवाय केशवाय नमः यादवाय माधवाय केशवाय नमः
यादवाय
गोपाल गोविंद राम श्री मधुसूदना
श्री मधुसूदन
गिरिवर गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन गिरिवर गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन गिरिवर गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन गिरिवर गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम
राम हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे हरे
हरे राम राम हरे
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे
राम राम हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम
राम हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे हरे
कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे हरे
कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva.
Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva.
Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol,
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol,
Hari Bol, Hari Bol,
Nitai Gaura
Hari Bol.
Jayam Vishnupad Paramam Saparivichakacharya Sodar Sada Shishimad Svaingreza Vai Charanarabind Bhaktivedanta Swami Shivabhada Ki Iskam Pandracharya Shivabhada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Macharya Shri Das Thakur Ki Prem se karo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyama Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhana Ki Shri Vrindavan Mathura Dham Ki Shri Mayapur Dham Ki Shri Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Shri Ganga Jamuna Mai Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Tulasi Maharani Ki Jai Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Iskam Guru Vrinda Ki Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande. All glories to the Son of the Bodhis, all glories to the Son of the Bodhis, all glories to the Son of the Bodhis, all glories to Shri Shri Guru Shri Gauranga.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Praladalaya Daine. Praladalaya Daine.
Tadayi
Hiranyakashipurvashaha.
Purvakshaha
Hiranyakashipurvashaha. Shilakankanakhalaye
Rankanakalaye
Shilakankanakhalaye
Rankanakalaye
Ito narsimho parato narsimho Ito narsimho parato narsimho Yeto yeto yami tato narsimho Yeto 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 yami tato narsimho
Yato yato yami tato narsimho
Bahir narsimho hridaye narsimho
He narsimho Narsimho
Bahir narsimho hridaye narsimho
Hridaye narsimho
Narasimhamadim sharanam prapate Narasimhamadim sharanam prapate
Simhamadim sharanam prapade
Avakara kamalavare nakha Adbhuta sringa Dalita hiranyakashipu Tanu bringa Keshavatirtha Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Vakara Kamal Natha Adbhuta Sringa Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Bringa Keshavatirtha
Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare
Keshavatirtha Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jaya Narsimha Dev 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 Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad
Jaya Prahlad Jaya Prahlad
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Nittai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nittai Gaura Hari Bol Nittai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nittai Gaura Hari Bol Narasimha Bhagwan ki Jai.
Thank you, Radha Damodar Prabhu, for wonderful Kirtan. Thank you, Kirtan and Keshav Prabhu, for supporting. Thank you, Rohini Mataji, for today's Pujari service. this week announcements.